Welcome to Visa Verge News, where we bring you the latest updates on global immigration, policy, and international relations. I'm Sarah, and today we're delving into a major development in U.S. India relations. President Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently met in Washington, D.C., and announced a comprehensive initiative called the U.S. India COMPACT, highlighting a mega partnership between the two nations. Joining me is my co-host, William. Hi, William.
Hi, Sarah. It's always exciting to discuss these major diplomatic milestones. The U.S. India Compact is a huge deal, touching on defense, trade, energy, technology, and even space collaboration. Let's break it all down for our listeners. Where should we start?
Let's start with the basics. At its core, the U.S. India Compact, catalyzing opportunities for military partnership, accelerated commerce, and technology, is designed to strengthen cooperation across multiple sectors in this new era of strategic partnership. Modi and President Trump unveiled this initiative during Modi's visit to Washington, D.C. on February 13, 2025. Doesn't this set a pretty transformative tone for U.S.-India relations?
Definitely, Sarah. One of the standout aspects is the defense collaboration. Both leaders committed to signing a 10-year framework for the U.S.-India Major Defense Partnership later this year, which builds upon India's current use of U.S.-origin defense assets. They're also looking at co-producing military items like Javelin anti-tank guided missiles and Stryker infantry combat vehicles in India. That's a pretty big step, isn't it?
It really is. They also announced plans to add 6 P-8I maritime patrol aircraft to India's fleet, enhancing its surveillance capabilities in the Indian Ocean region. And let's not forget the Tiger Triumph Tri-Service exercise, which will be hosted in India and scaled up for more complex training operations. It shows how defense ties are being elevated to a whole new level.
Agreed. And defense isn't the only big-ticket item. Trade and investment are another pillar of this partnership. The leaders announced Mission 500, an ambitious goal to double bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030. Sarah, I know they're planning a bilateral trade agreement by fall 2025 to help meet this goal. What kind of changes should we expect here?
Great question, William. To pave the way, India has already lowered tariffs on U.S. imports like bourbon, motorcycles, and metals. Meanwhile, the U.S. is increasing exports of Indian mangoes and pomegranates. So, there's definitely a mutual effort to reduce trade barriers and strengthen supply chain integration. Still, the trade imbalance, favoring India by $50 billion, is a challenge President Trump highlighted.
Right. And his focus on addressing that deficit is clear. One approach is increasing U.S. exports to India, including oil, gas, and defense products. Speaking of energy, that was another key area they discussed, wasn't it?
It was. Energy security is fundamental to both nations' economic growth. President Trump and Modi reaffirmed their U.S.-India energy security partnership, with the U.S. planning to become a leading energy supplier to India. They're also working on India's bid to join the International Energy Agency as a full member. All of this ties into stabilizing global energy prices and ensuring reliable access to resources.
And when we talk about innovation, the Trust Initiative, or transforming the relationship, utilizing strategic technology, deserves a mention. It focuses on advancing cutting-edge tech like artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and space exploration. Sarah, what caught your attention here?
The AI collaboration is fascinating. They're creating a roadmap to accelerate AI infrastructure in India, setting milestones through 2025. Plus, the Indus Innovation Bridge will foster academic and industry partnerships in areas like space and energy. Speaking of space, how about NASA and ISRO's joint effort to send the first Indian astronaut to the International Space Station? That's historic.
Absolutely. They also touched on their NISAR mission to map changes on Earth's surface. And it's interesting how this focus on innovation and cooperation extends even to critical minerals, which are vital for industries like tech and defense.
It's a comprehensive approach, for sure. Before we wrap up, let's briefly touch on immigration. India recently accepted 104 migrants under the Trump administration's policies, marking a significant step in cooperation. It's a reminder of how immigration plays a role in broader diplomatic ties.
Exactly. And it's clear throughout this visit that both leaders emphasized areas of mutual benefit, setting aside contentious issues to make real progress. Sarah, any final thoughts before we conclude?
Just that this meeting represents a true milestone in U.S.-India relations. With initiatives like the Compact and Trust frameworks, we could see transformative growth in defense, trade, energy, and innovation. Both nations are clearly committed to this mega partnership.
Well said, Sarah. And that's all for today's episode of Visa Verge News. For more immigration updates and stories like this, visit us at visaverge.com. Thanks for tuning in.